Hey guys, we're here with a special guest today, Alberto, who finished top 8 at the Side Deck Remote Regional with Vanquish Soul. So I guess maybe I'll just pass it over to you. What are your thoughts on this deck for this particular new format post-ban list?
Yeah, I mean, I think the deck has I would say it has a pretty good matchup against like Fire Kings. Obviously, that's going to be the best deck in the format going forward. Same thing for Rescue Ace. This deck can go first and second, and there's a lot of the thing with Rescue Ace is a lot of targeting stuff, and obviously Vanquish Soul is very good at dodging that kind of stuff. Also, it's very good. In time, you're rarely ever going to lose in time with this deck unless they can really just shut you down.
Awesome. Well, I
Um,
guess before we get to the list, I understand your brother has a YouTube channel for Yu-Gi-Oh. You want to shout that out?
his YouTube channel is Gunner Duels, and you can see him on YouTube and Twitch.
Awesome. I'll link that down below. And yeah, let's get right into the list then.
Cool, thank. All right, so three Raisin, he's the heart and soul of the deck. Two Mad Love, one Pantera is pretty standard. Uh, then we'll go. I played three Long because I think this card is just cracked. And Raisin plus any fire is full combo. And if you end up drawing him with that, now Raisin can just search something else instead of searching Long itself. So, and then three Borger, two Caesar, pretty standard. You want to see these guys to be able to dodge negation, like effect veil or imperm stuff like that. Yeah, that's it for the monsters. We'll go Stake Your Soul. Obviously, this card is just ridiculous. It helps you play um, under Droll. Uh, and if it was a searchable, it would be even more insane. But can't have it all, right? Then we play Continue and Snow Devil. I don't play the Book of Moon because I don't really think it's that great right now. Like it was really good in cash format, but we're working at that now. And Continue can help you play going second in case they interrupt your normal summon. So that's it for the Vanquish Soul stuff, and then Cash Tira. You got to have this. Fenrir is just a house by himself, and the fact that he can search another two attributes is just ridiculous. If Cash Tira had another attribute that worked, then we would play that too. Then we'll go to the hand traps. Play three Ash, pretty standard. Play three DD Crow, and we play two Ghost Spell. So like I said at the beginning, I think these three are really good. Or sorry, the DD Crow and the Ghost Spell are really good against Fire Kings. Ghost Spell can stop the Garunix from summoning, or you could just banish it out of the graveyard if you really need to. Ash and Bell is obviously good against Lab. Um, Ash and DD Crow are good against Rescue Ace, and the fact that they are just synergistic with the deck just help. Then we'll go Prosperity. Your extra deck is pretty free in this deck. You really only need the rock. Anything else rarely ever comes up. So this is just a free, dig 6 cards deep. Then was playing the Thrust package. It's kind of just Thrust and Talents, and then Called by Durendal and Rhoda. Thrust saved my ass a bunch of times during the regional. Just being able to, when you get Droll, just being able to set the Snow Devil directly from the deck can really help. Called by, I switched this out for the third bell because I just think that like being able to shut off like Garunix, for example, or Kieran for 2 turns, or shutting down a hand trap can be really good. It didn't ever really come up, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It is a one of, so you're rarely ever going to see it. But and then Durendal, Rhoda, they're just Raisin in disguise. So that's the main deck. 40 clean. I hate playing over 40. Like, but yeah. Uh, then side deck, the hand traps for the side deck. I play 3 Droll and 3 Imperm. Droll is really for like Manadium. It could just FTK them basically. You really don't want to get Calamities locked in this deck. The Imperms, now the Imperms, I didn't really ever use them. I never sided into them because there was just never a deck that I was playing against that really was Imperm would just shut it down. And it doesn't really work with versus not being a monster and not being a an attribute basically. So I didn't really play it that much. Then played Kurikara. Again, same thing. It didn't really come up that much. There isn't really a whole lot of decks right now that they're monster that you're getting a bunch of monsters, for Kurikara to, be actually useful. So I didn't really side into her that much either. Then we go, the back row hate, 2 Cosmics, 2 Storms, and a Duster. Um, really for, Fire Kings, Cyclone is really good. You know, Lightning Storm and Duster is really good for Rescue Ace and back row decks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Then we got Herald of the Abyss because I think people are really sleeping on Pearly right now. And since I'm already playing Thrust, I might as well just play an out for it. And I think it's just naive to not prepare for Pearly. And then I had the other Vanquish Soul trap. It's called Trinity Burst, and this is basically for decks, kind of like for Fire King or back row decks, where it bounces cards your opponent controls instead of destroying them like the Snow Devil does. So it's really good for Fire Kings, so you don't have to destroy their monsters. Back row decks, obviously, you could bounce up to 3 if you have enough attributes in hand, because it'll target a Vanquish Soul monster you control, and then you summon out 2 from your hand. It negates their effects, but then it bounces all cards in the columns of the monsters that you summoned and the monster that you targeted. So it can come up, if you wanted to do that. Then we'll do the extra deck. 3 rock, pretty standard. It's the one of the best cards in the deck. Uh, for Lynx, played Dark, IP, Nightmare Cerberus, Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, Access Code, and Underworld Goddess. Like I said, the extra deck doesn't really come up in this deck. I think I summoned SP like once, but that was just like in a really grindy game, and most of the time those don't really happen. Because yeah, I mean it doesn't really happen, so they don't come up very often. But they're there they're there just in case you need it. And then for the Xyz, I go Abyss, Dugaris, Zeus, and Sky Crisis. Abyss is if you're playing against like tier or like a really graveyard heavy deck. Um, that's why I'm also maining the Continue, because the Continue helps you make Dweller a lot easier. Dugaris is if you need to push for game. Zeus is, Zeus. If you steal something, if you steal an Xyz, you could just slap them on when you go to the battle phase. And then Sky Crisis, is Sky Crisis. So pretty
Awesome.
self-explanatory.
Well, thank you so much again for the deck profile. Really appreciate it, and congrats
Yeah, of
again on the
course.
top. Any last shout outs before we end the call?
Just shout out to my wife for supporting me. That's
Aw.
about it.
Yeah, and of course, and again, check out that YouTube channel. I'll have that link down below. And thank you, everyone.